One of the things that's come out of the pandemic is we spent tons of money. We just spent trillions of dollars and we don't have it. So we had to borrow that money. As we borrowed that money, then the Federal Reserve prints more money, and that money floods into the circulation and it devalues what we have. What does that mean? Higher prices. So when you go to the grocery store and you see the rising prices of vegetables, fruits, everything, and especially meat, it's because we spent too much money. We borrowed too much money. When you go to the gas station, you fill up your car, and it costs almost 50% more than it did the year before. That's because of inflation. Inflation comes from the government borrowing money, the Federal Reserve printing it up, and stealing the value of your dollar. So it's a bait and switch. One political party says, here's free stuff. You can have free stuff. I'll give you a $1,400 check, and it's free. Believe me, you don't have to do anything for it. Well, there is a cost. The cost is inflation. That's what we're seeing now. But as we found in the 1970s, when inflation rears its head and gets cooking, inflation can get out of control and it's hard to stop. The only way that Volcker and the Federal Reserve ultimately stopped inflation in the late 70s, early 80s, they let interest rates go to 21%. Imagine what that does to people. If you live in a house right now and you have an adjustable mortgage, how many people could survive 21%? What happens to the national debt? We have a $30 trillion debt and we're paying it at about 2% now. What if it goes to 10%, 15 or 20%? I don't know how we would afford it. Will it squeeze out Social Security? Will it squeeze out Medicare? So we have to resist this notion of something for nothing. And that's really probably the most important thing when we think about going to the polls. We have to resist people who offer you something for free, because nothing in life is really free. You're going to pay for it through the tax of inflation and then ultimately through recession and unemployment, because that's what happens at the end of an inflationary cycle. We're coming up on a